Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Gabby Pacheco, and today I am joined by the Dream.Us team, and Sadhana Singh is going to be my co-presenter for today. So this is part of the PC Power Hour, and today what we're going to actually do is go over this year's promotional toolkit and everything else that we want to share with you about this year's round. So first of all, we just want to see who's in the room and then also acknowledge the fact that we have new partner colleges. So we're really excited about that. So if you're a new partner college, please raise your hand. All right, welcome Angela and Maribel. All right, one of you, can you please come off mute and just tell us a little bit about your institution, what state you're in?
Hi, I'm Kati Pitak. I'm the Senior Director for Alumni Relations at College of St. Mary in Omaha, Nebraska. And College of St. Mary, for our undergraduate program, is all women only. So it's very unique. It's one of the very few schools that are left at single gender. Our graduate programs do accept males, but we are about, we have 40 current students who are dreamers under a scholarship that we have at the college. So this partnership is going to help us continue to be supportive of young women in that type of situation. And we have been doing this this is year 16. The first year we had 5, and now this year we have 40. So, which is great. So, yes.
That it's wonderful to hear. All right, so I believe, and Candy and Hayne and Elena might be able to correct me, but we're probably gonna have about 15, 16, or even more new PCs coming in this year. And this is probably like the biggest cohort that we have in a long time. So we're really excited. We welcome you to the Dream.Us family. And let's see. So do we have any colleges that this is their second year? Raise your hand. So all those that are new PCs can bring their hands down. This is the second year with us. Raise your hand. And one of you, can you please tell us how was your recruitment experience last year? And I will not volunteer anyone unless nobody.
This is Leticia from Illinois Institute of Technology. Hi,
Hello.
everyone. I don't work in admissions. I work in financial aid, but I have a lot of connection with our students, with our Dream.Us students. So I think that it definitely is getting better, every semester. We're learning how to be more visible to our students, as the time goes by. So I think that I don't know, it's just getting better. I think the communication is increasing, and I mean that's the best that I can say. But yeah, it's a good experience.
Beautiful. And we're here to help you. So, if there's anything you need from us, reach out.
Yes, I did take notes from the last meeting.
Great. Wonderful. Thank you, Leticia. All right. So we have, raise your hand if you're between 3 and 5 years. Colleges that have been around, you're like, I don't really remember anymore. I think I'm somewhere in there. Our middle children. All right. And you can put your hands down. How about our veterans? Those that have been with us for about 8, 9 years, 5 years and old and more. Beautiful. Okay. Do we have any of our original PCs? Let's see if I can name them all off. So Miami-Dade College, and Elena would be able to help me, or Candy. Miami-Dade College, Trinity Washington University. Leticia, this is also a women's college, and it's in Washington, D.C. We have BMCC. Where's our BMCC folks? Yes, I saw Tiffany around there. Kingsborough, we have Purdue Global, which was known as Kaplan, and before that was Mount Washington College. Beautiful. Okay, do we have any of our veterans with us? And can you please tell us what has been your experience recruiting students? Have you seen any changes in the last 10 rounds, in the last 9 years that we've been doing this? Has there been anything different that you feel we've had to adapt or change because of the times? And I know Tiffany's around at Miami-Dade College, Trinity Washington University. Carmen, I'm not sure if you're on.
Yes, I am.
Hello, my dear.
Hi,
You've been
Sue,
with
how are
us
you?
from the very beginning. Tell us a little bit about recruitment. And your recruitment is online, right? For students wanting to go to college online. So what has been your experience?
It's been great. It's a little bit harder because the online settings at the beginning as well, it wasn't as much recognized. And even though I will visit high school, radio station locally in my area, or travel to events, I will also promote the other colleges that they could participate in if they wanted to attend campuses. So that is the experience that I have been getting, and some of them are even willing to come to the online because they work full time at times, but it's adjusting. And after the pandemic, I think we're getting a little bit more recognitions on that part as well. But Gabby, you have been with me, I go to you all the time, and having your support has been great as well. And Sadana and everyone at the Dream Scholarship is very supportive of what I do. And I think it's part of the success too, that support that we get from you guys.
Thank you for that plug. We did not pay her to say that. She's saying the truth. We are here to support you all. But so I am so excited. I see the chat is going off, and please do introduce yourselves. Tell us where you're from, what institution, and share your jewels of knowledge. Albert, I know that you are putting some information there about the changes in the eligibility criteria. And so now what I want to do is share my screen, because I want to share with you the new eligibility criteria for the Dream.Us. And so we're going to be putting in the chat this. You should know this is probably something that you have saved in your toolbar. But in essence, when you hover and you go to the Dream.Us and you go to the scholarships page, you're going to see that there's 2 scholarships. So today I'm going to be representing the national scholarship. And if you probably saw, I'm wearing the blue t-shirt for the national scholarship. And usually the logo for the national scholarship is blue. Sadana is going to go over the opportunity scholarship, and she's wearing a red shirt. And if we have any questions from PCs that do both, we're going to ask Elena, who is wearing purple, to answer those for you. So we went out of the way for you all to dress accordingly. So when you go to the eligibility criteria here on the page, what you are going to see is that we have new criteria. And the exciting news is that this is the program has expanded. So it's not just for high school students or those that have high school equivalency or GED, but also college students. And I'm going to pause there and talk a little bit the nuance of what the college student is, because as you all know, we have had in the past the community college graduate degree program. And we also had a credit threshold where we asked the students that they needed to have no more or less than 21 credits in order to apply. So it is still a scholarship for those that are high school students or high school graduates. They must be a student that is about to graduate and will be finishing the next academic year. And here's the exciting news is that we continue to expand our eligibility for those that are undocumented. And so any student that is undocumented but must have come to the United States before November 1, 2017, have continuously lived in the United States since then. They can also have DACA and TPS. And as you all know, we originally started this scholarship program as a scholarship just for those with DACA and TPS. About 5 years ago, I would say, we expanded that and started changing some of that immigration criteria. But since then, it has been, you can be undocumented, came to the US before November 1, 2007, or have DACA and TPS. One important criteria that we also like to share with the students is that they must have come to the US before the age of 16. Now, when we are publicly sharing this in the media and when we're sharing this with students and stuff like that, we don't get into the nitty-gritty and the details of why, for example, the age of 16. But I want to share with you the reason why, because it's really important for you all to understand and know. And it's that our scholarship, the way it works is that for the most part, and for most of the institutions, not the opportunity, obviously, and not private institutions, but the student must be eligible for in-state tuition to be able to get this. And so a lot of the in-state tuition laws require that the student have done usually 3 years of high school. And so arriving to the US before the age of 16, being a 15-year-old, lands usually the student around 10th grade. And so this is why this is one of the requirements that are part of this program. As always, you know, this scholarship has always been a financial need-based program. And so the student must have significant unmet financial need. They have to have graduated or will graduate from a United States high school or have earned or will earn a high school equivalency diploma, as I shared before the fall of 2023. Graduated or will graduate with a high school GPA of 2.5 or better on a 4.0 scale, or have a cumulative GPA of 2.5 or better. And then intend to enroll full-time in associate's or bachelor's degree program at a partner college in your state in the fall or spring of 2023. And as I mentioned before, must be eligible for in-state tuition at the partner college they want to attend. So what does this mean for all of you? And we're gonna go over that too as we go through the toolkit. But what this means is that for your institutions, there's gonna be many opportunities. And one of the opportunities is going to be to reach out to students that were part of your cohorts that are undocumented, that are dreamers, and that maybe are not able to continue going to college, are taking a class at a time because they cannot afford it. You can go and reach into that population, reach out to them and promote the scholarship to them, and they can apply. So that's the big news here. And we're hoping that this really helps as many undocumented students that are both in your institutions or have come through your institutions, or that are, for example, community college students that are about to graduate. This is a great opportunity for many of the institutions that have the 2+2 program, or they have feeder schools, to reach out to that population. So I'm going to turn it over now to Sirana to go over the eligibility criteria for the Opportunity Scholarship.
Thank you, Gabby. Hey, everyone, it's Sadhana Singh. For those of you who know me, I'm Senior Communications Manager with TheDream.Us, and I'm also a proud Dream.Us graduate myself. I am living proof, along with some other of my colleagues at TheDream.Us, that this scholarship changes lives. It's one of the best things that I received in my life, and I'm a proud graduate of Trinity Washington University in DC. I see that D is on. Hi, D. And I'm also considering myself an honorary member of the Opportunity Scholarship. And that's why I'm repping Team Red today, because this is why. I received this scholarship in 2014, Yes, a long time ago. I'm old now. I received it in 2014 in the state of Georgia, where I'm from. And I quickly said, wherever they will accept me to go to college, I'm going to relocate and I'm going to go because I wanted this opportunity so badly. And Trinity, being a private school, took me in. So I actually paid for my own way, room and board, to relocate from Georgia and go to Trinity before the Opportunity Scholarship Program existed. And so I like to think that I had a small part in helping to create this program and to bring many other students from these locked out states to our program. So I'm going to go ahead and share now the website again for the Opportunity Program. And the important thing we want to share is the number of states, the number of locked out states has been expanded as well. So this is a map that you're looking at when you land on the Opportunity Scholarship landing page. We've added a few more states, so we're up to 23 locked out states now. And this map here is a quick graphic guide that you can check to see which states we are recruiting students from to attend our 5 partner colleges. So for those of you who are new on the call, maybe you have nothing to do with the Opportunity Scholarship, I'll just do a quick recap. This is another program, a sister program to the National Scholarship, where we cover tuition, fees, on-campus housing, and meals at one of these 5 partner colleges here: Christian Brothers University, Delaware State, Dominican University in Illinois, Eastern Connecticut State, and my alma mater, Trinity. So students from these states relocate. We fund almost everything for them to attend college at one of these 5 partners. Now let's go to the eligibility so we can show you what has changed this year as well. So largely the Opportunity Scholarship criteria remains the same. So as Gabby mentioned, for national, you have to be undocumented, came to the United States before November 1st, 2017. That's exactly 5 years ago from November 1st this year when our scholarship opens. And you've continually lived in the United States since then, or you have DACA TPS already. Next, you have to have come to the US before the age of 16. You have significant unmet financial need. You live in and have graduated or will graduate from high school in one of those 23 targeted locked out states by the end of this academic year. So it has to be your home state where you went to high school, and you obviously cannot attend college in that state, but you graduated there. Number 5, you've graduated or will graduate with a high school GPA of 2.5 or better. Or if you're currently in college, you have a cumulative college or university GPA of 2.5 or better. So across the board, our GPA requirement has now been updated to 2.5 for everyone, both programs. National Opportunity, GPA is 2.5 threshold. Number 6, intend to relocate and enroll full-time at a bachelor's degree program at one of our 5 Opportunity partner colleges in the fall term of the 23-24 academic year. So again, landing here on the Opportunity landing page, you'll see the criteria. We're also going to update for you the application guides, FAQs, all of that stuff. So it'll be in the same place that you know to find it every year. Gabby?
Beautiful. Thank you, Sedona. And so there's been some questions that have been coming in through the chat, and thank you so much, Elena, for answering that. Elena, is there anything else that you think we missed or think that it's important to highlight? And I know that there was a question from Angelica about could current students who did not apply last year but are eligible, can they apply this year? And Elena said, absolutely. Elena?
No, I think you both hit every point to all the updates for this year.
Wonderful. And I know Carmen sent me a message about the Purdue Global students, and that list of states has also expanded, correct?
It has. So we are, Carmen, we are back in every state except for Tennessee because we have a separate group that we partner with in Tennessee. So we have opened it back up fully. So same as it was back in the beginning for you.
Great.
All right.
And we have a question from Jeffrey. And then from there, we'll go into the toolkit. But is that what you were going to say, Sedona?
There's one more question that actually came in just to me. So we can take Jeffrey's question first, and then we'll do this one.
Sure. So lockout states. So we have categorized these states as locked out because the state does not provide the residents, the undocumented students, the opportunity and the ability to pay in-state tuition. So many of these states either don't have in-state tuition policies or have restrictive policies, like the state of Georgia that actually bans undocumented students from their top 5 institutions of higher education. So every year we look at the map of the United States, we track what's happening in each state. And although there has been some states that have passed legislation that allows for individuals that have DACA to be able to get in-state tuition, unfortunately, because what's been happening with DACA, and also because some individuals don't meet the DACA criteria or are not able to receive DACA anymore, we have categorized these states as restrictive too, because unfortunately, students, dreamers that don't get DACA are not eligible for in-state. So, Sadhana.
All right, so a question came in from Luis, and I'll have Elena take this one. Are you visa holders able to apply?
They are.
Fabulous.
All right, so we'll hold before we go into our promotions and going through our promotional toolkit. But are there any other questions from anybody on the eligibility criteria? Are we excited about the changes? Are these things that are welcome by you all? Yeah.
Yes.
I see some head nodding, some smiles.
Some smiles, yes. We
Thumbs
want to
up.
support as many more undocumented students as we can with your help.
All right, we have a question from Jeffrey.
So it's a follow-up question. So the schools that are taking in the people from locked out states, is it that they're giving them in-state to, like, how are they chosen as schools that are taking in? Are they giving them in-state tuition? Is that how that works, or how did they become partners in that program?
So I'm gonna let Candy answer that one, because it's a combination type of thing, but yeah, and in the program it's a different amount of award that we provide for those students.
So I can just share quickly, the colleges that we chose actually were done some time ago, and we first looked for progressive states where we would have the support of the governor, because as you might guess, going in to offer scholarships to students coming from out of state can be a fairly controversial issue. So each of the partner colleges was very carefully selected with support from local government. And then each college found a different way to get to that $20,000 per year. And I applaud them because they each had very unique approaches to do so.
Great. Any other questions? Okay. So we are going to now share with you this year's promotional toolkit. And you're going to see some similarities of what you've been seeing every year, right? Why reinvent the wheel? But I do want to call out some of the changes, and we're going to talk a little bit and share with you some new approaches that we want to take this year. All right. So as you all know, we are in this together, and we really take seriously the partnership that we have with all of our PCs. And we want to make sure that we provide college access to these students and the opportunity to excel academically and be able to graduate and go into the workforce. So we have this shared goals. Another one of our goals is to address the barriers and the challenges faced by dreamers in completing a college education. And we want to together be able to achieve a 75% graduation rate. The other thing that we wanted to highlight and make sure that everybody knew is that, especially for our new PCs, is that we refer to you all as our partner college. And it's really important that we use the same language because, this is what the students are going to be seeing on the website, the applicants, et cetera. So it's really important that we're all in sync. And so we call you partner colleges, and we want you to call yourself a partner or partner college of TheDream.Us. We also want to make sure that you're reinforcing that we have the National Opportunity Scholarships, and that only the institutions that are partner colleges can students apply to and use their scholarship on. And the other thing is that we want to make sure that wherever possible, especially on your website, that you hyperlink TheDream.Us when there's any mentions of us. Because at the end of the day, all the information around eligibility and, more importantly, the application is going to live on the TheDream.Us website. And we ask you to please include our logo if there's any mentions of us. All right. So give me a second. I lost my now. All right. So the other thing is that here are some core messages that have worked, and you can, use some of these, be creative and put your own. But one of the things that we have been doing more of is making sure that we mention the fact that we have been providing scholarships to students now for over 9 years, that we have provided over 8,750 scholarships, and also that we have graduated, or we have over 3,000 alumni. And this is really important because time and again, we hear from different students that they tell us, oh, when I heard about this scholarship, I thought it was too good to be true. I thought this was a lie. I had to really do some digging and some education and learning to make sure that this was real. So we want to tell students, and I think this is where it's really key and important that we share either the stories of other scholars that are on your campus, or that you use, right? The story of, like I said, and give me 1 second because my thing is not working anymore. Let me stop sharing for a second. I'm having some trouble here with my mouse. I can't keep working. Okay, sorry about that. All right, give me 1 second. This is my second screen. It's acting up. So. All right.
And while Gabby gets situated, just to let everyone know, we are recording this, and you will get the promotional toolkit, links, all that stuff in the PC Weekly tomorrow. For those of you who are not familiar, the PC Weekly is a weekly kind of newsletter type email we send out. You get it once a week from TheDream.Us. And it basically has a recap of everything that we have done for the week, or upcoming events, news, things you need to know. To get on that email list, please see your Dream.Us relationship manager that you've been working with. They will get you on the list to receive that. Thank you.
Thank you, Saad. And now, are you seeing the presentation still?
Yes, so we're seeing core messages continued.
Beautiful. Okay. So as you know, we have the 2 scholarships, and we ask you to please always send people to the Dream.Us website for all eligibility criteria. And I know that sometimes it's good to just kind of put a teaser or the highlights, right, to make sure that the students that are coming through your website know, oh, this is, check, check, check. This is something that might be available for me. But make sure that you send, and don't put all the criteria on your website, because one, if your website doesn't get updated constantly, and I will show you one website that has not been updated and still has some information from a couple of years ago, but you want to make sure that you have the most up to date, and the best thing to do is just send them to our site. All right, so here's an example, right? You can talk about the Dream.Us has new immigration eligibility criteria. You can talk about what that criteria is. but taught and say, additional criteria can be found on the Dream.Us website. So we also are working, especially with our new PCs, on the press releases. And so on the toolkit, you can click on these hyperlinks and it's going to take you to some examples of what some colleges have done to share with the media about what's happening there. And give me 1 second. And then I want to just go over some of the things that we have learned from the years. And for the applicant outreach, what we have seen is that depending on the applicant pool, it takes about 90 started applications, 30 to 50 submitted, to actually achieve around 10 scholars. So it's really important that we try to do as much outreach as possible. And from the start of November 1 until January or February, depending on which scholarship your institution is going to be promoting, it's one of the most important things is to make sure that you're reaching to your applicant pool to get them to submit and complete their application. So here are some examples of what other partner colleges have done to promote and attain applicants. So one of the things they've done is have the Dream.Us information on their website. That one's an easy one. Getting the word out to local media through press releases, reaching out to local high school and the school counselors, hosting on-campus sessions where applicants can get help with their application. The other thing is you can pull from ISTS portal your applicant information and encourage them, as I was saying before, through emails, phone calls, etc., to finish. We have seen institutions host a parent-student session where they actually invite the parents to come in and learn about the institution and how the program works and what are the services that are being provided. And then they invite current scholars to participate in the sessions. As I was saying before, it's really key and important to see the students see themselves and see that this is real and that others they're going to be part of a community. And then the other thing is that to make sure that words like the word undocumented, dreamer, DACA, TPS, etc., are on your website, because a lot of the times people will go to the website and go on the little search box and put that, and you want to make sure that that information comes to the top and that students are able to easily find it. Now, here's a new approach. If you're a four-year university with the feeder community college, as I was saying before, you want to reach out to your local community college students and encourage them to apply to your institution to complete the bachelor's degree at your institution. You can also reach out to current student population that is either has stopped out or is struggling to pay for their classes and encourage them to apply. And as I was sharing with you all with the press releases, we're going to be working with all of you as we've done in the past to do joint press releases and also try to do media interviews, both for English language, but one of the ones that we have been seeing a lot of return, for our book has been doing Spanish language media. So if there's somebody on your campus that can do that, great. If not, no worries, we can help with that. I do a lot of these interviews as well. So now I'm going to pass it to Sedona.
Thank you, Gabby. So basically what this toolkit is from this point on is examples of what you can do on social media. So we know that from your institution's perspective, it's utmost important, fabulous, helpful, totally great to have your website updated, press releases, that kind of stuff, as Gabby mentioned. But we also harness the power of social media, which is where we can largely spread our messages very widely. And so this may be something, the section you could share with the media folks at your institution or the communications folks at your institution, This part is going to talk about the helpful hashtags that we use. And this year we've added a couple more. It's kind of a way we see what's going on out there in the social media realm, what young immigrants are using, what the undocumented folks are using. We add these in there to our own toolkit so that we get the most exposure. For anyone who's looking at this right now, if you don't see a prominent, sort of undocumented or immigrant hashtag, please add it in the chat. Maybe there's one you see constantly in your own network. Please let us know. We're constantly wanting to keep up with where the folks are. And then moving on to the next slide, we can see some examples of messages you can just copy and paste out of here. So these are for Twitter. For each of these, they're sort of taking into account the character limits, word limits, that kind of stuff for each platform, hashtags for each platform as well. So this basically is showing you how to customize some of these messages for each platform if you are doing this yourself or you want to pass this on to the communications folks. And we also just make it easy to just copy and paste, right? So you don't have to come up with any new messaging. You don't have to have someone write any of this stuff for you. Literally, you can go into this document, copy and paste, set it up, that kind of stuff. So going on to the next slide, we feature some other examples as well. We are showing you on Facebook where we have a little bit more, character words that we can use. You can explain a little bit more about the scholarship. Again, feel free to grab these. These are going to be all updated with new dates, deadlines, all that stuff, so that you can just copy and paste. Again, these are what they look like. And we captured these to put in the toolkit because we want to show you that images really make a big impact, right? So we have our flyers there. We have pictures of, alumni, graduates. This gets the most attention on social media, right? So copy and paste one of those messages. Maybe if you have, you have our flyers, you have your own flyer advertising TheDream.Us, put that up there so they can get most traction in people's news feeds. And a great way, of course, is to use, as we said, like images of graduates, as they're able to do that. And this is how some other colleges in the past have used our flyers. They've put their own logo on our flyers. They've sort of, put it on Instagram posts like this. There you have from RUN. And so we really appreciate this because then when you tag us using our handle or our hashtags, then we also see it, we repost it, we retweet, all that stuff. So we're each amplifying each other's posts. So we want it to be a great big community of sharing this information in a very consistent way, a very clear way, making sure there's no confusion on language, that kind of stuff. And then, Gabby, if you go back to the slide for 1 second. The next one we're adding to the toolkit, which is new this year as well, given that it's new in our realities this year, is TikTok, right? So TikTok has really blown up. That's where all the young folks are. As I mentioned before, I'm no longer the young folks, I'm older now. So for those of us who are also in the same position, Gabby's going to show us this example of TikTok where a former scholar of ours, I believe she's a current scholar, did a video for us on TikTok. So these are just examples. This is an example of an idea that you could do as well.
Scholarships for undocumented DACA Dreamer students. Go to this site here and select your state. You can get up to $33,000. Also note that these states don't qualify. Check if the school you want to attend is a partner. Make sure to read the eligibility requirements closely. This is due February 25th. But wait, there's more. This one is due January 28th. These states can apply. You can get $20,000 per year. If you win, you can apply it to one of these schools. Follow for more scholarship tips.
All right, thank you, Gabby. So we loved that one. As you can probably tell, it's in this kind of way that you've seen these reels or these videos on the internet, right? Where they have this sort of computerized voice that's narrating. So the student did it in the style of that. She literally is filming the website on her computer. So as you can see, it doesn't have to be anything that's very high production, high produced, but putting something like this together, maybe you talk to a current scholar or an alumni who's really versed on social media, maybe they volunteer to do something like this. But it's just ideas. We're giving you examples here of things that we're going to be doing this year as well. We're going to be making a lot more videos as well. And then going on to flyers. So on the next slide, you'll see for those with us for a while, you see all familiar flyers that we've had custom artwork for the TheDream.Us. We've had since the beginning. These are what our flyers look like in English and Spanish. And those of you who requested promotional materials on the Google sign up will be receiving a package of these flyers in hand, physical copies of these flyers. We're also going to have them online on our website, so you can download the digital copy as well and use that as you see fit. Lastly, we're also sending to you tabletop banners. So these are new as well in the package this year, in that when you go to fairs, college fairs, festivals, that kind of stuff, events, you're able to have a little tabletop banner that you can stand up on your table to represent the TheDream.Us. These have been very popular for us in the past, and so we've brought them back this year. So you'll also be getting those in your promotional packages. Again, this image also, it will be available digitally, so you can grab it and still use it anywhere that you want to in the digital world. And then, as always, we have the posters and flyers with quotes on them. This is also something we've used every year. It's always very powerful to use these because they are quotes directly from our scholars and graduates. And it sort of is a real life connection to the people that are affected by the scholarship, and the quotes that they have, talked about how much it's changed their lives, their parents' lives, things like that. We also have them in a couple languages. So on the website, you will have all of these available to you as well to download and then use as you wish on social media, on your own website page, things like that as well. And then lastly, I just want to say, Gabby and I are your contact folks for anything promotional related. So if there's a flyer that you want, but you don't know where to find it, if you want to ask a question about using something, please reach out to either one of us. We are happy to help you throughout this process. And then I'll pass it over to Gabby to talk about some website examples.
Yes, and I know there are some questions coming in. So there is, folks are asking about the website. So we are right now fiercely working on making changes behind the scenes. There's a lot going on. So by Monday, all the stuff is going to be updated on the website, all the new flyers, all the information, dates, etc. So right now, all those changes are happening. And then the other thing that I wanted to mention is I was waiting for somebody to ask this question, but I don't think anybody has. Is there something that you saw in the Dream.Us application that is no longer there, that it used to be there from the very beginning? And it's not eligibility criteria. It's something that we used to ask people to do and are no longer going to ask our applicants to do. And anybody? Yes.
So
essays.
they're already on the ball.
Yes, there are no more essays. So we know that this was something that used to, get people really scared, and scholars would not complete it because they were scared about writing something so personal. But we have done away with the essays, and so are going to be trusting all your institutions. You already do rigorous application process for your students, and so if the student receives the Dream.Us scholarship and it is also admitted to your institution, then that's it. No more essays.
Gabby, I have a question.
Yeah.
I'm Kati Pitak again from College of St. Mary, and this is my first year. So I feel like I'm jumping into like the fourth chapter.
Yeah.
So my question is though, and maybe I could have this conversation separately so I don't put any, like for the sake of time. I'm just not sure, like all of these materials, do the student has to be accepted to the respective school first before they apply? How does that work?
So we do tell the students, and you'll see it on their website, that we encourage the students to apply to the institutions that they want to attend at the same time that they are applying to the scholarship. We do make a note that being accepted to the institution doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to get our scholarship and vice versa. So yes, I think it's really important, but you know, any one of us can, and tell me what institution you're from again?
College of St. Mary in Omaha.
That's right. So, you know, your relationship manager can sit with you and just go over some of the stuff, or, you know, myself or Sedana, we can do that just to make sure that we answer any specific questions that you may have.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Candy.
Yeah. All right. So every year we like to highlight different websites. And this year I want to highlight the University of South Florida website. And I really love this website for so many different reasons. The first is that information is super user friendly, and it lives on the page of the Office of Multicultural Affairs. There's a whole entire section and resources for undocumented students. So let's go ahead and navigate it. And one of the things that I usually do on all of your websites, just to see how good they are, is that I go here and I usually put the word Dreamer, DACA, you see it's already popping up, undocumented, to see what comes up, because this is what students do, right? They want to see if I am undocumented, you know, does this institution have any information for me? So the Office of Multicultural Affairs, University of South Florida, has just a welcome kind of message. And it says, you know, this is for undocumented students. We come up here, they use our flyer, which is the flyer that we have used from the very beginning to promote the scholarship. So there's a lot of branding and familiarity with this flyer. And the thing is that here's where I was telling you, be careful with the dates and stuff, because as you can see, I can see this hasn't been updated since 2020. But the good thing is that it does link to our website. So if you want to know more eligibility, go to TheDream.Us. And here's the thing that I absolutely love about this website. There is information about financial aid. There's a number that the student can reach out and call. There is information about the Florida House Bill, the 875, which is the non-resident tuition waiver. That's the process that in the state of Florida students need to go through in order to get in-state tuition or get this waiver. There's other scholarship information. There's a list of places that people can go to for other scholarship. They have their DocuAlly information, etc. Local organizations that students can reach out to, legal support that the students can go. And again, the list goes on and on different things. I have seen this too in many of your websites, which is great. The frequently asked questions, and they're pertain to your institution. So this is why it was great. And then other resources like food pantry, etc. So kudos to University of South Florida. Thank you for your partnership and for what you're doing to show up for undocumented students. The next website, which I know is somebody's favorite, is Sedana's. And this is Trinity Washington University. And Trinity usually makes the list almost every year because of all the information that they have. And, you know, again, what I love about this website is that there's a story, the story of Sedana. She shares, you know, why going to Trinity Washington University was life-changing for her. So there's testimonials here that are great. And here's another website, and this is a little bit more simple, but still, you know, has the logo of TheDream.Us, has one of the images and flyers that are available for you on the TheDream.Us website. And here's where I think it's great. There's a specific contact and a person, a liaison that the student can go to. And we know that in our institutions, sometimes the students just have to navigate, you know, all these different departments and they don't really know. And unfortunately, sometimes the colleagues in the colleges don't have the information and might not necessarily know or give the right information. So this is great to have because the student knows exactly who to contact at the institution for more information. And again, some Q&A here. So also kudos to Olga Thorpe for your beautiful website. So I am going to stop there and see if we have any questions. Oh, before I did want to show, I know some folks were asking where they can go on the website, but practically there is a top part of the Dream.Us website, and you're seeing a little bit of the back end when I go in and make changes and stuff. But into the website, I don't want to go to the dashboard. Okay, so here on the top, and we are working on refreshing and updating our website and making our Partner College Hub and our Scholar Hub stronger. But if you go to the Partner College tab, you're going to see here's some tabs, the latest news. So if you ever missed a PC Weekly or you haven't been added, this is what Sadhana was talking about. Every week we put the PC Weekly up here, and it's going to keep you updated of everything that is going on the Dream.Us, emails that we've sent, upcoming events, etc. The partnership toolkit is a really great place for you all also to see, you know, the MOUs, who to go for what, etc. The national and opportunity guides. Those are for when you actually have scholars on campus. And here is the where the promotional toolkit lives. This is getting updated today, so don't download it just yet. Here's we're going to put after this, the recording of this promotional toolkit. We're going to have new application guidelines updated here, but here's where you can download our logos. Here's some examples of press releases to promote our scholarship, examples of college websites and application videos. And we're going to be updating a lot of these flyers as well, or adding more. So you can download these. This is the tabletop that Sadhana talked about. So you should be receiving these materials probably by early next week, flyers, the tabletop stickers. But here are the English and Spanish flyers that we have. And then here's some samples of how partner colleges have used their flyers or banners, right? Hunter did this really beautiful banner that they had put up on their website with our image, and then all the different cards with the quotes. So for those of you who are new to the Dream.Us, this is where you want to go to get all that information. All right, so we have just 7 minutes left, and thank you so much for all of you who have shared with us. Do we have any questions, any suggestions? Did anybody see anything missing that you think we should make sure that we add?
How you doing? And this is Gabriela Collantes Wood from City Tech. Sorry, I don't put the camera. I just got surgery.
No worries.
Yeah. In the flyers, when I get it, they're very beautiful. The problem is the material doesn't allow me to write down there because it would be great if you give me a space in the bottom. Don't put anything, even blank. And that way, when I drop it, I can put my name, my City Tech email, and maybe an extra information, because dropping extra card, and there's already the flyer. Even, I don't know, it's like a space in the bottom. Don't put anything, even sounds too much. The material is so glossy that you cannot write it down. And if you're using any kind of marker with wash, that would be an excellent option. Not to, and every time we do it now, recruitment in high schools for our program, for the SIG program, I can drop the flyers and put my name in there and do that at the same time. It's an idea, you know?
Great. Yeah, thank you for that. We are putting together a flyer that is going to allow or give room and space for you all to give to your marketing departments to put your own logos on it. But if I'm understanding correctly, Tokaya, what you're saying is that on our flyers that we hand out, the beautiful, colorful ones, to leave a room in the bottom so that something can be written there. So we'll work to see if that's a possibility in changing that and doing that. And like I said, for all of you that submitted your name and address and information, by next week, you all are going to be receiving this. But yeah.
And Gabby, some folks are asking about if they can still request promotional items.
So unfortunately, we posted, it was supposed to be the 14th. We extended it, but things are going out this week. We actually, I know that more than likely are going to be happening tomorrow. If there are some institutions that submitted twice. So what I would say is look at that Google form. Maybe your institution already did it. If your institution is not on there and you can get me the address by today, like right after this session, I might be able to work with our distributors to see if we can add you. But this is why it's important to read the PC Weekly and be aware of all the great opportunities. And, we wish we had more resources to provide a lot more stuff, but, this is why we give you the access to the logos and the flyers and stuff. You all can also print some in your institutions as needed. Okay. Any other question? Anything else the team wants to add? Chris, Hayne, we know we're having these PC Power Hours every month. The next one coming up is going to be in November, and there'll be different topics. And we're really excited to be hosting these because we feel these are not just information sessions, but learning sessions too. We want to learn from you, hear from you, get advice. Gabriela and Carmen, great advice on the flyer. So anything else?
You're gonna hate me. Besides the Dreamers US, I also support any immigrant student. Anybody who is undocumented, they have my name in the website. But I don't know if other partners have the same problem that the Dreamer at Jose Peralta in New York, that in my place and in my case, they are so confused between one another. And I'm getting 20 sometimes students from the Dream.Us, the email, they think about the scholarship. So many organizations, everything is called Dreamers now, even students, and they are requesting to be the Dreamer name removed in some way because they don't consider as an accurate name for them. Is any place that this scholarship is thinking the possibility to change the Dream.Us scholarship to something more accurate to what our students they are, because they really don't dreaming. They work really hard for everything they get. And it's not like they get them for floating around. And every time I hear the name, it's like, okay, you dream. No, you work really hard and you respect and you earning. It's a conversation about a better name to represent what they really are. And also so many groups calling government and everything. I don't know. This name is start being misused. I mean, it's interpreted and confuse students. Is any person is put in that situation in a place that maybe we can change the name?
So it has become, I would say, a topic of discussion. I have been part of the immigrant rights movement since I learned about the DREAM Act in 2004. And I consider myself a former dreamer. I actually don't take offense to being called a dreamer. because they say that I may be a dreamer, but I know I'm not the only one. If anybody knows that reference, is the Beatles, Imagine. I also take, I believe in the American dream and the connection that that has, but also MLK's speech when he talks about I have a dream, you know, and so for me, there's a lot of connection historical to that. I know it's confusing. That's one of the reasons why, as you can see in a lot of our materials, we interchange and use the word undocumented in the flyers, the tabletop banners. We were very conscious of this and call out and say undocumented immigrant youth or undocumented immigrant students. Actually, some people even take offense because of the youth, even though our average age student is 18, 19 years old, but there are some that are in their 20s. So there's a lot of there. I think what you're saying has a lot of merit. But I think we'll consider, we'll talk about it. I do want to say that branding and awareness is really key and important, and just nationally there is an awareness with that word. But thank you for bringing that up. All right, so we are over our time. Thank you so much for this opportunity to present to you all. Again, all this material are on the TheDream.Us website, and if you have any questions, you can reach out to on promotions to Serana or myself, or you can reach out to your relationship manager.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Thank you so much for the time.
Bye.
Thank you.